With my back. Is there any wonder I got a bad back? Yeah. So there you go. Probably my most favourite toy, really, I think. It purchased for a right nice guy down in darkest, deepest Wales somewhere. Came as this one and a Tomcat, which is a similar sort of thing. I bought the pair. I since sold the Tomcat. That really wasn't for me. That had a petrol V8 in it and all the rest of it. And the initial plan was baby and race the Tomcat. It didn't materialise. I think I maybe passed the racing, the four-wheel drive racing bit, although I'm very tempted to have a little play with this. I keep being invited to one every year, so maybe next year I might give it a whirl. That particular one was built by Drew Bowler, the founder of Bowler. As any of you that have any interest in Land Rovers all know the history and things of Bowler, big Land Rover racing company, initiated by a guy called Drew Bowler. That was one of the first ones he built. It was the first handful, shall we say, where they used two front halves of chassis and all the rest of it. So effectively they were cut and shot, really, but they're kind of accepted. They were well balanced. Apparently he used to hang them off a jib. You know, before he put the body on, he would hang them off the roll cage there and make sure they were balanced and all the rest of it. He put an awful lot of time and effort into the development. That particular one's got a TDI in it. It was built for some long distance work. It's got a massive fuel tank and radiators in the back and all the rest of it. It was built for a Paris-Dakar. And apparently the story goes it never got there. Unfortunately, the lad who commissioned the build, his wife got diagnosed with cancer, and he shelved it and didn't actually go. So it's all built to do a Paris-Dakar, and it's great. I love it to bits. It's not the comfiest thing in the world, but it's just, yeah, it's a proper thing. So I very much like it. I use it through the summer. I haven't used it much this year. It's been parked up in there, but generally speaking, I will use it through the summer. It's tax and MOT exempt, so it's lovely, it's great, it's cheap as chips to run, being a TDI, and yeah, so I would use it just like I use my old Defender every day. And yeah, summertime, I will use that. So there it all is, as you can see, space framed, genuine chassis, front, I think there were Range Rover chassis he used, and so it runs two fronts. So it is a bit of a mongrel, but I kind of like it. Yeah. So there you go. So that is probably my most favourite toy. Obviously, I love my Escort, but yeah, you don't see very many of these, and you see a lot more Escorts. So for me, this kind of fits me a bit better. I like the four-wheel drive fraternity. You know, used to off-road every weekend in my younger days. So for me personally, that's probably my favourite toy. We'll just have a quick squint in here, look, and then if you want to try and get in it, there you go, look. So you got your sand mat things, whatever they are, whatever you want to call them. Should have two spare wheels, of course. Eye lift jack, so on and so forth. Big cooling system up there, look. And yeah, long range fuel tank down there. Fuel tank's nearly as big as your central heating tank at home, look. So there you go. So if you want to get in, we'll have a spin around the block. You're lucky there's no salt on the road, because this is one that does not go out when there is salt. So you're lucky. Yeah, it's not. You notice I haven't got a bar on here like you have. It's the previous fella took it off, and I've never bothered putting it on. It's in the back. So yeah, And of course in here you've got all your trips and everything for your distances and mileages and all the rest of it. The only thing it hasn't got is a heater. We don't have a heater in it. We do have a heated screen, so we're all right for that. But we don't have any hot air coming in. It actually isn't too bad. Heater pipes and stuff all run under the console, and the radiator is just behind your head. But of course, it was built to do the Dakar, wasn't it? So heating wasn't your problem. Cooling was your problem. So we got a vent up there for the hot days, locking diffs and all the rest of it. So got air locking diffs in it, and compressor behind me, and yeah, it really was built really well. So as I say, I love it to bits. It's just something very different, very quirky, and the very fact that it's a TDI means that you can use it almost as an everydayer. So come summertime, I shall be out in it again and use it on the to and from work job, you know. I have had it for maybe 4 years, something like that. So yeah, not outrageously long, 4 or 5 years I suspect. And it in the early days I used it a lot. Latterly, not quite so often. As I say, it's a bit of an acquired taste. But it's at home on the off-roady bit, of course, isn't it, really? So on the road, you'll notice it sort of floats along. It's got extra long shock absorbers and soft springs and all the rest of it. And so it just sort of floats. And then, of course, as I say, you get it on the rough stuff, and you don't really notice the bumps. It's lovely. There's no plan to sell it, put it that way. I think it's quite a special thing, and I just like it. You rarely ever see another one, unless of course you go to an off-road event, and then of course they're everywhere, aren't they? You know, of course they are. But not many original Drew Bowler built ones. So sadly, Drew Bowler's no longer with us. He's comped. But the company Bowler, they are still very much in existence and doing really well. As far as I know, they're doing really well. They've gone into new ones now, and they are now doing the same thing, the off-road challenge in new Defenders. So they're still cracking on, and still well regarded. I saw him at a show a couple of years ago, and I think it was just shy of £100,000 for the motor and the year and the backup and the servicing and the everything. And he said it as though it's only £100,000. But anyway, they're out there, they're busy, there's lots of them out there, so they've obviously found some people willing to participate, and they look a nice, well built, well put together machine, you know. Although look a lot more of a standard thing now, as opposed to, obviously, this looks like what it is, doesn't it? Let's be fair, it doesn't resemble a standard Land Rover, really, this one. So yeah, but it's nice to see, you know, an old-fashioned little company started off as a one-man band, evolve into quite a national thing, really. Yeah. Again, Charlie, I think Charlie would actually be quite good, because he's good at reading the land, you know, reading the road and so on. So I think he'd actually be quite good in it. So whether in time he might have a play in it, I don't know. We'll see. Come down the muddiest road we could have found, didn't I? So whether in time he might have a play in it, I don't know. As long as the only one reason I don't want to use it really is because I think I'd get a little bit carried away, and I don't want to damage it because I like the old girl. It's tricky, innit? So the best drivers, the best competition drivers, are the guys who don't care. You know, they're not bothered, and therefore they're the fastest. And they go out with that mindset of, win it or bin it, which is brilliant. Great, if that's how you are, brilliant. I can't do it. I have to go out with a mindset of let's keep the car right and let's finish, and that's me, you know. So for that reason, I don't think I'd be the quickest on the off-road circuit, because I would always have car preservation in my mind, with a mechanical mind. So yeah, we'll see. Never say never. I should do an event in it really before I get too old. I should do really. Let's be fair. It's built for it, and with a quick service up, it's ready to go. So yeah, it would be all right. There's a knock-off, a shock absorber at the back there. You can hear. But I have got a guy at York who'll do them for me. So I should really go and see him and get them done. Really, should do really. So we've been to a show or two, and same old thing, you know. It causes massive interest with a certain audience, you know. So lots of guys, obviously, just walk past it and just dismiss it, don't they? You know, it's not their cup of tea. It's fine, but it does cause good interest, and yeah, it's just a bit different, a bit quirky, you know. As I say, with it being TDI, meaning that you can actually use it, then that makes it all the better, you know. So there you go, your first run in a bowler, no doubt.
Yes,
Yeah, so we should have had these on really, but then of course it wouldn't have worked for the old camera job, would it? But yeah, we've got intercom in it. I'm not sure if there's two different types. I think there's two different rigs in this. And as I say, all the navigational stuff. I actually don't know what most of this is. I haven't got a clue. Oh, that's your intercom. Yeah, I knew there was two. There you go, one there. So several intercoms. Yeah, fire extinguisher plumbed in and all the rest of it. So you're as safe as houses when you're in here, really, if you can physically get yourself in and out. I look forward to seeing you get out in a minute. That's what I'm looking forward to. So there you go. So without going over old ground too much, I think it's fair to say this is probably my favourite toy.